Book 72 of 2019 is The Last Thing She Told Me by Linda Green. This audiobook sounds really good. It's one of those that's been produced really well and narrated really well, so that the characters are kind of like they have different voices. Obviously, it's the same person doing the voices, but you can like the characterization comes through with the voices. I found that Nicola as a character and her relationship with her husband was quite endearing and nice to like listen to, because they're always like taking the mick out of each other, and I think sometimes in like books that kind of banter kind of relationship is not done very well, and it isn't in a lot of books when they're explaining like people's relationships with each other, and yet what I would think in my relationships with other people, they're a lot like that. The best relationships that I've got are the ones where I'm taking the mick out of people, the ones that people, don't get offended by my sense of humour, which sometimes happens when people don't know me very well. So I thought that was really, really nice, because it was very like realistic in terms of human behaviour. Although having said that, the plot itself is a bit, it starts off really, really good, and you kind of like, oh, what's happened, and you're trying to like, you find out what's going on and things, and it's just a bit strange. Like Nicola is a mother of 2 children, but yet she just, some of the ways that she responds, and the way that she's very kind of like emotionally reactive to things, and she has 2 children, but yet she's very immature in how she behaves, and I found that was quite inauthentic, and I kind of didn't like, I kind of got Nicola's character in the beginning, but then she started to respond to certain things, and I was like, this isn't how a grown woman would respond to these situations, definitely not. Particularly as well, I'm sure she's been like with different men, so she's had different relationships, like, so it's not like there's or has she? Yeah, I think she has. I don't want to spoil it to say like what actually has happened, but yeah, she's got 2 children, so she definitely like has. So yeah, the plot was just like a little bit unbelievable. That as well, that like 2 of the characters find themselves in the same predicament, and it was kind of like, oh, that's convenient. And there's kind of an element of it where there's voices from the past, and it's really bizarre because there's like one version of the voice and there's another version of the voice, and for a long time, oh, I don't want to spoil it, because when it was revealed, I was like, oh, that I'm not going to say any more on that actually. That was really, really well done, but it was really confusing. But I think that was what made it good, because it was confusing. You wanted to read more to find out what the hell was going on, and so it was kind of a nice like paradoxical kind of demonstration. So that gives you a little bit of a hint of what I'm getting at. But then having said that, because the characters find themselves in the same position, I kind of feel like that the cyclic nature of abuse was kind of like not investigated further, and it could have been. It was kind of like a very surface level story, with lots of threads from different people, which was kind of good. But then there's like this obsession with like selling the house and stuff, and the way that the daughters responded, like Ruby, I think she was called. I mean, I did have the audiobook on like maybe 1.5 speed or 2 speed, so it was a bit weird anyway, but she just seemed really annoying. And I was just like, if I had a child that was responding like that, as a mother, I wouldn't be responding how this Nicola did. So it was just a bit weird, really. So I enjoyed listening to it, but at the end of it, I was kind of like, oh, is that it? Like, I was expecting like a lot more from it. So it was kind of like nice, like a holiday read, but obviously it's a depressing topic. It's not very kind of, like happy and cheery. But it was okay to listen to, but like I found the characters annoying. I think that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. So I guess if you are not that fussy about what you read, then you might kind of enjoy it. Like I said, the narration's really good. It's a lot better than just an audiobook. It's been produced really well. So it's good just have on to listen, just a book to pass the time, as books usually are for. So yeah, I'd kind of recommend it for that. But if you're looking for something like a little bit more in depth, a bit more, like developed, and if you want like really good characterization, I'd probably pick something else.